Hello everybody, welcome. This video again wasn't actually going to happen. This is related to a previous video that I uploaded, I think last week, in response to a guy called the Anime Guy, his thoughts on this, and it interested me in, you know, talking about Funimation, like it's the end of an era for Funimation as hit its own thing. Funimation's practically shutting down its service, its online streaming service, and is fully just going to be absorbed straight into Crunchyroll. So basically, Funimation as a single entity, as a single thing, is no more, really. And I'm just basically talking about Funimation, my thoughts on Funimation, and my love for what they've accomplished for when it comes to the Western anime audience and scene, with dubbing anime and subtitled anime and things like that, and also foreign movies as well. Some Asian films they've dubbed as well, and then talking about Crunchyroll hiking up their yearly membership price for gaining access to anime that people will likely lose that have already downloaded series through Funimation's site. So there's big like problem at the moment, whether people are going to start cancelling their subscriptions to Crunchyroll because of this. Because people have probably put a lot of money into downloading stuff and having it as a digital copy. Now Funimation is shutting down their service, their streaming service. That means anything downloaded through their service will be lost. Everything will be lost. And then obviously people are going to have to go on Crunchyroll because that's where Funimation's library is being stored at the moment. Past library and their English dub versions and stuff. And so for basically to gain access to what you've lost digitally, they're going to hike up the price for that luxury, and for you to be able to rewatch those shows that you've lost or haven't yet got around to watching, or whatever the case may be. So this video is about this article. If you read the headline there, I'll give you a little bit to give it a read. This is an IGN article through their site talking about, is it time for physical media to basically to make a comeback because of this whole situation with Funimation ending anything download, with digital media. This is exactly why I prefer physical, for this reason. And I've had countless arguments, not arguments, but I've had discussions with like close friends when it comes to physical and digital, and I've spoken about it that physical isn't dead. Even though digital and streaming and downloading stuff is becoming the norm now, it's starting to shift in that direction, I understand. But for this exact reason, this is why I prefer to, if it's a certain series that I really, really, really like. Yes, I have Crunchyroll subscription, I have a High Dive subscription, and I used to have a Funimation subscription, but I cancelled that because I didn't see the point of paying for Funimation separately when I'm paying for Crunchyroll when they are now together. And it's a good thing that I did cancel it when I did because of this whole situation. But yeah, so I do have streaming services because there is some stuff that we don't have physically at the moment in the UK. The UK is still a little bit behind when it comes to physical anime copies, even though there is a hell of a lot more availability in the UK than there has ever been before. There's stuff coming out all the time, new releases, all sorts of stuff that is still yeah, he's making its UK release and everything, and it's thanks to people like All the Anime. In the past, it was Manga Entertainment. There was Manga UK. They did it, and then I think Manga UK became All the Anime, I believe. Then there was MVM distribution as well. Disney also distributes certain stuff that's under the Disney. Yeah, so Disney, anything that's under the Studio Canal logo, which is most of the Ghibli stuff, that is because it's technically the English dubs for the Ghibli stuff is technically done through Studio Canal, which is owned by Disney, and Disney it's technically distributed through Disney's technically their distribution logos and Studio Canal and that. So there is certain companies out there that are distributing it to the UK, but there is certain stuff that you can't buy in the UK. They've only just recently, within the past 5 years, I'd say, released all of the Digimon box sets. That is currently up to about Series 5 or 6. I think Series 5. So basically, Original Adventure, Adventure 2, Tamers, Frontier, and Data Squad. All of those are fully available in the UK's UK versions of the box sets. Anything after that, I believe, is kind of up in the air, because I do know some of the series, and also the Digimon Tray films, they're also available in the UK, and the original Digimon movie, that's also been available for a long time in the UK. But that's just kind of giving you an idea that we are still kind of behind in a lot of it, because it's through licensing between Hasbro. It's an old licensing between Toei, Shout Factory, Hasbro, and whatever else that has done stuff, and Disney. Shout Factory are kind of one of the biggest distributors, mostly from America. Very, very little Shout Factory stuff actually gets released, especially the animated stuff. Animated box sets that Shout Factory have put together. They don't seem to kind of get everything out, because again, licensing and all that. They've only just started, like, basically Power Rangers. I know I'm going off on a tangent here. Power Rangers, you can only get the original 2 films, so Mighty Morphin film, the Mighty Morphin film, and also I think it's the Zeo film or Turbo film. I think it's Turbo. So you can only get the original films, and you can only get, I believe, you can only get the. I don't think all of it's available in the UK. I've only ever seen the Mighty Morphin series on physical box set. In the UK, anything else? Yeah. So there's still a lot of series, because again, it went through different ownership. You got the Saban era, then you've got the Disney era, then Saban brought it back again. So it was Saban from the beginning, and then it became Disney, and then era, and then it was Saban again, and then Hasbro now, which is currently releasing all the more recent stuff. And it's still a little bit up in the air of what's going on with the future of Power Rangers, because there's been hardly anything mentioned about that. But anyway, moving off from that tangent, you get my point. Is certain stuff that is kind of like distributed through Shout Factory, licensing agreements and all this, that, and the other. There's a lot of stuff that has never been physically released in its entirety as a box set in the UK. Sometimes we might get the odd volume box set, like, so say like the first 5 or 6 episodes on one DVD. That's been a thing for us. But we've never had full physical box sets, and it's only very recently that certain stuff is finally getting released in the UK, or is available to get. I mean, I'm lucky enough to have I have a DVD player that can play Region 1s. I only use it for Region 1. So if I see something and it's a DVD box set, not, obviously I don't have a. When it comes to Blu-ray, it's a different thing. Obviously, you need to get a multi-regional Blu-ray player if it's on the Blu-ray disc or whatever. Because obviously, you know, or you can just get a Blu-ray player and you can just put the code in or whatever you want to do, and you can make it multi-region if you wished. But I opted for the idea of just having a dedicated DVD player for just region 1 only, and thanks for me having that, a good thing for me having that, I've got some series in my collection that I've had to, over the years, wasn't originally in the UK. I had to source them from America or whatever, or through Amazon US or whatever. So there's some certain stuff within my anime collection and also some other series animated that never actually got fully released as box sets. So like Beast Wars, my Beast Wars box set, that's Shout Factory, that's only US only. Although Beast Machines has been available in the UK in its entirety. I know I don't get the logic there. The Beast Wars series you can't get in the UK. It has to be from an American source, like a US version. But Beast Machines, there's technically the sequel series to Beast Wars. Beast Machines, you can get the full thing, no problem, in the UK. Same with Robots in Disguise 2001. That's all available. Transformers Animated. I had to source Transformers Animated through Shout Factory again through the US one. Some of the Transformers Prime stuff, certain series has been released in the UK, but not the whole lot. So my Transformers Prime collection is kind of a mix of US and UK. It's really strange how the distribution licensing works for certain stuff. It really is a bit annoying. But anyway, you can't help it. It's licensing and all that kind of crap. But when it comes to the anime spectrum, coming back now to the point of the video, subject matter of this video is basically, long story short, is physical needs to come back. It's still there, physical hasn't really gone away yet. But this is exactly the defining thing why I've always said, and I've argued the toss over with people, physical is very important. I do not trust digital completely for this exact fucking reason, people. And certain people, I understand people are in this mindset now. Look, you got to accept it. You got to accept it. Life is all about streaming services. I understand TV, all the good stuff's on streaming services. I hardly watch normal TV these days because there's bugger all on for that I enjoy. So I'm always on streaming services, so like Disney Plus, Netflix, Amazon Prime, all that kind of thing. And then obviously I watch my anime as well. And yes, I have these streaming services because, there's obviously I have a Crunchyroll subscription and a High Dive. It's because I'm trying, I like to check out new stuff. And if I really, really, really like that series, I will then go ahead and buy a physical copy. I won't download it. I won't download it as a digital version or whatever, like some people may have done with Funimation, with their service. And so I don't run the risk of losing anything. So I've put money into buying a digital, downloading or buying a digital version of a series, or have a pretty decent library. So the people that have done that are now going to lose all that money that they've absorbed into a digital collection of anime, just to have it all taken away from them. And then Crunchyroll are going to hike up the price for you to be able to gain access to that stuff that you lost. So that is the big slap in the face debate that's going on at the moment with the whole Funimation Crunchyroll thing and the whole article that I mentioned. The link to the article I'm going to put in the description below this video, so if you want to read it at your own leisure, you're more than welcome. But yeah, it's just, this is it. This is exactly why I don't like buying digital consoles, like digital only. I always, even though when it comes to video games and everything, I don't know what's going on with that, because there's been rumours for a long time that anything after the PS5 is going to be discless completely. There's also been all these articles of like DVDs and Blu-rays being taken out of retail in the US. Certain shops, stores are just getting rid of their physical media and just kind of like, yeah. So some shops are doing that, even though physical sales are still very high. There's still a massive percentage. You still, you see people like say like, people buying physical CDs is still a big thing. Vinyl records is still a big thing. Films, for instance, all that kind of stuff. But when it comes to animation, there is, when it comes to animation, it's mostly Disney stuff. In the UK, it's mostly Disney stuff, and you might get the odd classic thing like Funimation. It's not Funimation, but you might get like Thunderbirds and Captain Scarlet and all that kind of stuff. You can get now for many years. You could get hold of that. There's certain stuff like classic stuff like programming that is starting to make its way on DVD in the UK, but there is less selection when it comes to animation, I think, when it comes to any other source of media. And that needs to change. And yeah, it's interesting now. We're coming into, obviously, we're in 2024, and you see that the landscape and the way things are going with physical and digital media, there has always been a debate. People are going to probably call me a boomer. People like to label people when, of a certain age and everything, like, but it's one of these things is that it's one of these things is, right, this is exactly why I prefer physical media. I prefer physical media for this exact reason. Because, yes, I have downloaded some stuff in the past. I've purchased stuff off Amazon Prime Video. There's a couple of films that I thought to get digitally, but there has been a couple of them where I have actually bought a physical copy as well. So I have a physical copy and I have a digital copy of certain films. So if anything happens to Prime Video ends. Yes, I'm going to lose the money that I've invested into well, not invested, but I'm going to lose the money. I'm going to lose the digital versions if anything was to happen. I know people are going to probably comment and say, you could just literally download them and put them on a flash drive or something. Yes, you probably could, but that's not the point, is it? That is not the point. Just, yes, you could do that. You can download stuff. You can get stuff and you can have it saved safe on a flash drive or on a hard drive. Yes, you can do that. Yes, of course you can do that. But that is not the point. That shouldn't be the point. That shouldn't be the saving grace, because you buy something that should be yours and it's not yours. When it's digital, it's technically kind of, you are renting it. You're technically renting it from that site or from that place. It is technically not yours. Because in this exact instance, with Funimation closing down their service and technically becoming fully absorbed straight into Crunchyroll, with this, people are now losing people that have bought digital stuff or downloaded or whatever, bought digital versions of a series, anime series, that is going to be lost once their service is shut down, and they're not going to be able to gain access to it anymore, which means they've lost all that money. Those series that they've paid money for, they don't actually own that series. Even though technically they do own it, but they don't own it at the same time, because with this exact reason, they will literally just take it away, shut down the service. You can't gain access to all that stuff you've bought already digitally, and you then have to go through other means in order to access it. And this could cause problems with piracy again, even though piracy has always been a problem with the internet. So people are saying, like, people are thinking of just like cancelling the subscription to Crunchyroll as well, and just either go to piracy sites, or in this instance of this video, go physical. start buying physical box sets. I understand as well, I will just add, anime in general is becoming very expensive hobby when you're buying physical. I do understand that. But some of the season box sets, I can only go on UK prices. Other countries are different. Other countries' anime box sets will be a lot more expensive compared to us in the UK. It's all about, the difference between currency in the world. You can't really do much about that. However, in the UK, the average box set for a series is anything between 20 to about 50 quid, anywhere between 20 to 50, depending of how many episodes per season and whether it's a collector's box set or if it's got like an art wet book or something like a collection. So it's anywhere, I would say, within the price point of between 20 and 50 is about your normal anime box set price list. Then when you get like something that's a lot more grander, then you are looking at something around about between 50 to 100 quid. There is only one box set I have physical that cost me £100, and that was, but the thing is, it was actually good value at 100 quid. I managed to pick it up for £100 at a MCM Comic Con. I went to the Birmingham MCM Comic Con, and they had there was the anime distributor. All the anime was there with a booth and everything. And I was looking around some of the anime box sets, and I noticed they had some copies of this specific series. And it's not just the one season; it's 3 seasons. So I'm getting 3 season box set, and I'm also getting a nice. So it's 3 seasons together. So 3 seasons together. So at the time, that was everything that was currently released for that series. Also, you get a nice art book. You get, it's a proper collector's box set. Okay, 100 quid for that's not bad. If you think about it, it's going to cost you between 25 to 30 quid per season box set separately. So if you add it up there, that's 369. That's, yeah, you know what I mean? So you could say you're paying a little bit more because, maybe about 10 quid more here or there. But the point is it's actually a decent value because you're getting, for that 100 quid, even though it's a lot of money, and that's literally the most I've ever paid for a physical box set, by the way. I don't intend to buy anything too ridiculously expensive. I think 100 quid will be literally my limit on a series, depending on what it is. And if it is like that, where it's multiple seasons together, then it's worth it a little bit more than buying it separately. Because if you work it out separately, you probably might be paying more than you would for the box set. Or in some cases, you're probably paying more for the box set of the individual box sets or whatever. It depends. But that box set is Full Metal Panic. By the way, just to let people know, Full Metal Panic is the series that I'm talking about there. What cost me 100 quid, and it came with season 1 and 2 and the OVA Falafu or something, whatever it's called. So it came with 3 seasons. So it came with the season 1 and season 2, and also the OVA series as well, which is more like it's separate but part of it. But it came with 3 seasons. And it came with a nice art book and everything, and in a really nice presented case. So that cost me 100 quid. But some stuff, like I say, I can only go on UK prices. So like most of the normal box sets, you can still buy DVD versions of anime, and obviously the Blu-ray's taking over quite a lot as well. I personally prefer to buy Blu-ray, mostly because it's better definition. That's mostly me. But technically, most people have HD TVs or 4K TVs now. So even if you bought a DVD, it will still it will technically upscale it a little bit more. So even though you watch it, even though it's a DVD, it will technically you know, the TV will technically upscale it a little bit, because even though it's not going to be full HD, or it's not going to be full 4K, but you will get, it will upscale it a little bit. But I always prefer to buy Blu-ray when it comes to anime. Yes, you pay a little bit more for that privilege, but it's better quality, better resolution, and also it helps to support the anime industry a bit more as well. Because I've found out that Blu-ray releases, when it comes to DVD, the anime production company doesn't get anything from it. So the production company that produced the anime in the first place, they don't get anything from DVD sales. It just goes straight to the distributor, and it goes to whoever else. It doesn't really go to, the revenue or percentage doesn't go to the production company. Buying Blu-ray, however, a good percentage does indeed go straight to the production company, and it also tells the production company that that series is obviously popular enough, and that's how we start getting more than one season of a series. However, that doesn't always happen. There has been cases over time where a series that was very popular, but it still never got a second or third season. So that is still the case. However, thanks to people like Netflix, there has actually been a few series that have been resurrected from the dead with new seasons, or season 2s or 3s, which is a good thing, I think. But yeah, so I wanted to make this follow-up video and just say, I'm not trying to be an arsehole here. People might think, oh, here we go. But I'm not trying to be an arsehole. I'm just trying to say physical is very important still, for this exact reason. People are investing money in stuff as a digital version, video games, music, whatever. Anything happens to whatever service you use, whatever you gain access to your music, wherever you gain access to your video games, if you prefer to stream it or download it, or or if you have a digital console, all digital rather than the disc drive. If you're one of those people, which there's a lot of them, you're buying that. If anything was to happen to the PSN network, for instance, if that was to be shut down, or something was going to happen, or they bring in a different thing entirely, you could potentially lose all that data. If anything was to happen to a servers, or anything like that, when it comes to anything digital, you could easily lose access to what you've already paid for. But when it comes to a physical copy, you have it all the time. If you choose to watch it, you have it there, right there for you. Pop it in the DVD player or whatever, Blu-ray player, whatever, and you can watch it to your heart's content. You don't have to worry about anything. The only downside is you might lose a disc. I've done that. I've lost discs. It happens sometimes. But the point is, physical is still a great way forward, and it means you physically own it. You have it. I understand where video games come from. It's literally just an unlock code. It's a code on a disc. But the fact is, you physically own it. You own that. You own the disc that activates that code. So if anything was to happen, you would hopefully still be able to play offline. You might not be able to play online, but you might be able to play the offline campaigns at least. So you will be able to get some playability factor out of it, with it being a physical copy rather than the digital. I don't know. But the point is here, physical's still important. People need to start thinking that digital isn't the full 100% answer when it going forward. It's not. It's not the answer for this exact reason. You are buying something, you are paying your hard-earned money to something that you want to support and you love with all your heart. Anime, music, video games, whatever it may be. You are paying your money and buying it a digital version of whatever it is. Okay? But you don't truly own it. You are technically renting it from whoever's doing the service, is giving that, to you. In some cases, it was Funimation and Crunchyroll or Netflix or Prime Video, whatever it is. Whatever digital service you've purchased, well, with Netflix and Prime, well, Prime Video is more of this because you can rent or you can buy straight outright on Prime Video if it's not available for free through the monthly fee. You obviously you can buy a digital version of the film, whatever. But with Netflix, you pay a monthly fee and you've got full access to everything. But anyway, so yeah, that's the point of today's video. Physical is still important. I don't care what kind of, if I start getting insulting comments below saying, oh, you're just, you're not in the times, mate, you're a boomer and all this kind of shit. Go for it. I don't give a shit. But if people call me that, it's just the fact. This is the truth. Digital is, in my opinion, is a big scam, and it's just a big scam in my opinion. It really is. We go forward. Time moves forward. I get that. Digital and streaming is becoming the big massive norm. It's becoming normal for people. However, physical still has its place. It's still very fundamental for the industry. People are still buying physical films, CDs, records, vinyl, video games, anime, whatever it is. They are still buying it physical because not everything is available digitally sometimes because of licensing. But you might be able to get around that with a physical copy. So, because obviously you've got licensing's different with, when it comes to streaming and online stuff, that's a different kind of licensing. And when it comes to a physical license, that's different again. It's two separate licensing points. So anyway, that's the point of the video today. So please comment below, let me know what you think on this whole debacle. And also check the description below for the link to the article in question that I mentioned about. By IGN. So physical needs to come back. Physical is still here, but it needs to come back, and people need to buy physical again. Don't fully rely on digital streaming or digital downloads completely for this exact reason, because you could lose access to what you've put money into very easily when a company decides to go under, or not go under, but decides to stop. In this case, Funimation, they obviously had no choice in the matter, or it's been something that's been said behind the scenes, and Funimation is no longer happening as its own independent thing. Funimation's ended. Funimation's done. So their online servers and everything are going to be shut down for their streaming service, and anyone that has bought stuff through them digitally will lose access to all that. And then Crunchyroll hiking up the price just so people can gain access to their Funimation library and watch the stuff that they've paid money for and lost. So that is the insult. And that's why I call it a scam. And this is why physical is so much more important, because you physically own it. That is yours forever until you decide to get rid of it again. Yeah. But thank you for watching, and please check the description for the link to the article. And if anybody wishes to do any response to this, by all means do. But thank you so much for watching, and see you soon. Bye-bye.